In Part 1, you flew Zone 5. You paid $54 to not hurt. You crossed the curtain. You were rebooked in 4 minutes, while 38 people stood in a line you were no longer in. This is Part 2. The first 4 levels were about the curtain, finding it, paying to get in front of it, understanding what the system does for you when you're worth retaining. The next 4 levels are about what happens when the curtain stops being the point, when the seat stops being the product, when the airport becomes optional. It starts at domestic first class. It ends with a Gulfstream that leaves when you are ready. You are 43. Level 5. Domestic first class. On most domestic routes, first class is business class with a different nameplate. Same seat, different line on the boarding pass. The product that earns the separate category is the service layer. On a coast-to-coast, that's where the experience changes. Before the door closes, the flight attendant comes to your seat. She says your last name. Not Mr. or Mrs., just your last name, correctly pronounced, because she read the manifest before boarding, and she memorized the names in the forward cabin, and she used yours because the airline has decided that in this cabin, you are a person with a name, not a seat number. It is not warmth, it is a trained skill set. The difference matters because warmth is free and training is a budget line. She offers champagne or orange juice or sparkling water from a tray of glasses already poured. You take the champagne. It is 8 a.m. You take the champagne because someone poured it for you at 8 a.m. on an airplane, and the appropriate response to a gesture that specific is to accept it. The meal is 3 courses. You did not expect a 3rd course. The 3rd course is a cheese plate, and it arrives just before descent, and you eat it, and you think about the last time you were in Zone 5, and you think about what the number on the fare difference actually means, and the number is $600, and the experience is not 4 times better. It is a different experience, not a better version of the same thing, a different thing entirely. You land, you deplane. The terminal is familiar, but you are not tired. You are exactly the person who left 3 hours ago, which at this point in your life is its own form of luxury. Level 6. International, lie flat first class. You are 47. The seat has a door. Not a curtain, not a partition screen. A door. You close it. You are alone in 40 square feet of pressurized aluminum at 38,000 feet above the Pacific Ocean, and the 280 people behind you exist the way the street exists when you're inside a house. Present, not intersecting. The flight attendant asks if you'd like your bed made now or after dinner. You say after dinner because there is a dinner and it is 6:45 p.m., and you are flying to Tokyo and you plan to eat first and sleep after and arrive rested, which is not how flying used to work for you, not how it works for most people. And the fact that it now works this way is a thing you don't talk about at dinner parties, because there is no version of that sentence that lands correctly. The meal was developed with a Michelin-starred chef. The wine was curated by someone whose job title includes the word sommelier. The bedding is a collaboration with a hotel brand whose mattresses run $4,000 at retail. The pillow is a full-size pillow. On an airplane, you sleep. Not airplane sleep. 4 continuous hours, body horizontal, eyes closed, actually unconscious. You wake up and eat breakfast and read for 90 minutes and land in Tokyo with 1 time zone in your joints instead of 14. You arrive as yourself. This ticket retailed at $11,400. The economy ticket on the same flight was $1,100. The difference is not 10 times comfort. The difference is that one experience is a version of travel and the other experience is transportation. They share an aircraft. They share almost nothing else. Level 7. Private charter. You are 53. There is no terminal. No TSA. No boarding zone. No overhead bin announcement. No pre-packaged biscuit. No apology for the delay, because there is no delay, because there is no schedule that exists independently of you. You drive to Teterboro, not Newark, not JFK. Teterboro, New Jersey, 12 miles from Midtown Manhattan. No baggage carousel, no Duncan, no gate agent standing in front of a door you're not allowed through yet. It has a lobby that looks like a hotel business center, a front desk, a handshake. You walk across 80 feet of tarmac and board a Bombardier Challenger 350 that seats 9, and today holds you and 3 colleagues flying to a client meeting in Nashville. The plane left when you were ready, not when the weather cleared, not when the connection from Dallas arrived, not when the regional gate agent finished her shift change. When you were ready. You sat down. The door closed. The plane moved. Nashville and back in a mid-sized charter runs about $21,000. Split 4 ways, $5,250 per person. Compare that to a last-minute first-class commercial ticket on the same day. $1,800. The math doesn't fully explain the decision. The math leaves out 4 hours of airport on each end, a connection through Atlanta on the return, and the fact that you landed at the Nashville Executive Terminal 6 minutes from your client's office instead of BNA, which is 25 minutes away in traffic, which is 50 minutes round trip, which at your billing rate is $4,100. You didn't buy a nicer seat. You bought the deletion of the airport from your day. Level 8. Owned aircraft. You are 61. The aircraft is a Gulfstream G650. A captain and a first officer, employed by a flight management company that handles scheduling, maintenance, compliance, and every regulatory requirement that governs a private aircraft in U.S. airspace. You tell your assistant where you need to be. The logistics produce a flight. You do not think about it. That's the point. The aircraft cost $48 million. Full ownership, hangar, crew salaries, maintenance reserve, insurance, fuel, catering. Runs approximately $4.1 million annually. You fly 260 hours per year. Your cost per hour in the air is roughly $15,800. This is not a number you optimize. It is a number you account for, the way you account for the lease on a building. It is an infrastructure expense. The infrastructure is your time. You have not been through a commercial security checkpoint since 2017. Not as a statement, not in protest. The infrastructure that requires it simply does not intersect with your life. The TSA pre-check number in your profile is attached to a credit card you no longer carry. Your executive travel team handles commercial bookings for your staff. For you, the booking is a phone call. The call takes 2 minutes. The airline industry is aware you exist. Your loyalty program account has 1.4 million miles you have not accessed in 3 years. The miles accumulate automatically from a credit card your assistant uses for operating expenses. The airline continues sending emails. You continue not opening them, not because you're hostile to the system, because you are no longer in it. Circular return. Somewhere right now, someone is standing in boarding zone 5. They've been at the gate for 40 minutes. They watched zone 1 board. They watched zone 2. They watched the families and the military and the premium members and the people with status. They watched the plane fill from the front while they stood with their bag, doing the quiet math of whether the overhead bin above row 34 is going to have space, whether they should have paid the $35 carry-on fee, whether the $54 for extra legroom was the mistake, or the $35 was the mistake. And now it's too late for either decision, and they're zone 5, and they're boarding last, and the bin is full. And somewhere else, someone just got a 3-line push notification telling them their flight was canceled. They are tapping a button that will return an error. They will stand in a line for 51 minutes. They will spend $49 on food in a terminal with broken charging ports and 9 hours left on the clock. The Gulfstream just pushed back from Teterboro. No zone, no bin, no math, no curtain, no pre-packaged snack, no notification, no line, just a handshake in a lobby and a door that closes when you are ready. Both of those people are going to the same country today. The airline didn't engineer this because wealthy people deserve better. The airline engineered this because wealthy people pay more, and the system built around that fact is so complete, so layered, so precisely tiered that most people inside it cannot see where their tier ends and the next one begins. They know the seat they're sitting in. They don't know what's 2 rows forward of the curtain. They've never been shown the curtain. They've never been told the curtain exists. You're all going to the same place. The airline just decided you're not all worth the same amount of getting there. The seat is the same country. The experience is a different country. And most people have never been shown where the border is.